Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a story time. And as you can tell from the title, this was probably the most disgusting thing I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot working behind the bar, right? Bear in mind, I worked there for nearly 10 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. And yeah, this... You can understand, this video is going to be the shit, okay? So, getting straight into it. So, when you work in the bar, right, you, especially working Saturday nights, you understand that the night doesn't really start until about, say, like 10 or 11 o'clock. Before then, say normally before 10 o'clock, you normally just have your sort of regulars in, okay? So like the older people that I've learned from experience, right? That if you want to sort of enjoy yourself and just have a quiet night, you know, have just a few social drinks, you come in earlier so you can avoid the sort of the carnage of, you know, when all the young ones come out after sort of 10, 11 o'clock. So on this particular Saturday night, it was nice and early, right? We're talking about 9, half 9. I was working by myself because normally you don't get, like someone doesn't come in until later on, say about 10 o'clock, you know, when it starts to get a little bit busier. And this is where our story begins. So I'm sitting there behind the bar, right? It's nice and quiet. There's a few people in, right? A few regulars. There's a few people sort of round the back in sort of the back room enjoying themselves. And it's pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet for a Saturday. Bear in mind, it's still early. So technically the night hadn't even begun. And enter our sort of the only other character in this story is this. I believe he was Polish just based off his accent. So this guy walks up to the bar, right? And he comes up and like, hey, how can I help you? And he walks up and he's like, shit. And I'm like, what? What? Is it a pardon? He goes, the toilet. I was like, oh, okay, he needs a shit. He's asking me where the toilet is. So I say, oh, second door on the right, through there, bud. And he goes, no, shit on toilet. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is this guy talking about? So anyway, I come round the bar, right? So I like walk with him, like, what is he talking about? And he leads me to the toilet. And so the toilet is like, you go through the door, immediately on the right, it's like this little cubicle room, right? There's a door and that's like the only place you can sit down to take the toilet. And to the left is just a bunch of urinals. So he's like pointing to me, he's like, in there. I'm like, all right. So I very enthusiastically just open this door, saying, so to the right, the little cubicle. So I just open it, right? And as soon as I swing that door open, I am in utter shock. When he said shit on toilet, he meant shit on toilet. There was human feces, not just on the rim of the toilet, right? All up the back of the cistern, all over the floor, right? And I shit you not, up the wall, up until about my shoulder. I opened this, I'm sitting there staring at this. I'm just like, what has happened? How has this happened? And I sort of close the door and I look back at the guy and his face is like, see, I told you. And I'm just in utter shock. So anyway, I am in utter disbelief. I'm like, okay, what has happened here? So I immediately think, I don't get paid enough for this. I'm going to go tell my boss. So bear it in mind, my boss was actually currently away on holiday. So his wife was there sort of overseeing the pub. So I go upstairs, right? And I chap on the door. And I'm sitting like, well, what do I say? So she, anyway, she comes to the door, she opens it, says, all right, hi, how can I help you? And I sit there and go, there's shit all over the wall. And she goes, what? I'm like, there's somebody's pooped all over the walls. She's like, she had a Geordie accent, so she's like, what? Speak up, man. And I'm like, somebody's pooped all over the toilet walls. And she's like, nah, you're taking the piss. I was like, no, I'm being dead serious. There's shit all over the walls. And she's like, what? I don't believe it. So anyway, she gets her flip-flops on, whatever. She marches downstairs with me. And she comes down and she's like, she opens the door and she's like, what the fuck, man? She's like, somebody is taking the piss. How? How is there shit everywhere? I'm talking like sprayed up the back of the cistern and all over the wall. And she's just in utter disbelief. She is raging because she knows she's cleaning up, because there's no way for minimum wage I'm sitting cleaning that for the next half an hour. Now, did we ever find out who did it? Was it the Polish guy? We have no idea. Could you imagine if he did? Like, he did it, and then he came up to the bar just like... But no, we never found out who it was. My boss cleaned it up. Got it looking spotless. You couldn't tell the absolute crime scene that had just happened, but... So yeah, guys, that's... Oh... What a memory that is. So, that's all, guys. I hope you find this story humorous, and I'll see you in the next one.